Let me just say this to the men, 18 and over, and maybe some guys like they leave home a little earlier than that. You are living an abnormal life if you're living at home and you're a male at 18 and over. You're living an abnormal life and you're never going to grow. You only grow when you go out and deal with the issues of life. You should not hide behind mama's skirt tail, under mama's skirt tail, hiding from the issues in life. So don't let your mother convince you of that, your grandmama, or anyone. Get out and deal with life. And the key to dealing with life is not resenting what you have to deal with. Don't have any opinion about it. Don't call it good or bad. Just deal with it. Overcome it. So you're never going to grow up. You're never going to develop into manhood. You're going to always be a beta living with mama. And when mama says you, oh, you can save money that way. No, you're not supposed to be trying to save money that way. You get out and you get to a place, you get a job, and if you need more money, let's say you're unable to save because your apartment, your food and everything costs more than the one job can afford, get a second job. And then you'll be able to save. You really, really will. And save by putting 10% away of your money. Every time you get paid, put 10% away. Every time you get $1, put 10% away and just leave it there. And it's only to be touched for investment purposes. Only for that reason. And then with the other money, you can pay your rent, buy your food, put gas in your car, ride the train, whatever you do. You'll live off that, and you'll have money put away, and opportunities will come. Without a doubt, they will come, and you'll have the money to invest in it. It'll be there. All right? You cannot fail that way. And number 3, never, ever, 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 but never, under any circumstance, move into a woman's place, her apartment, her house. Don't follow her to Florida for a job or anything. You must be the leader. And if she's unwilling to follow you, dump her. Don't put up with it. If she is unwilling to follow you, dump her. Be done with it, because it's never going to work. The order will not work unless the woman is willing to follow you. The moment she says, no, I'm not willing to follow you, goodbye, nice meeting you. Never, ever, 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 but never, ever, 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 but never get involved with an older woman. A woman who's been married, who has children, or just older than you. It's a mama and son relationship, and she will destroy you because you will be weak. Ain't no way around it. And she would hate that weakness, and destroy you. Men were created to lead women, not to follow them. When you follow the woman, you're going right into hell. And an older woman is very cunning. Younger women are too, but at least you're older than them. And if you happen to luck out and overcome, you'll be able to lead them. Every time you get involved with an older woman or listen to a woman, you're going to fail. You should date. If you want to date them, but be you. Don't try to put on a front. Don't try to pretend you're this or that. Be you. And just treat them in the same way you would treat any other human being. They are not special. Women are not special. They're just a female human being built in the image of man. The woman came from the man came from God. The man is created in the image of God, and the woman is created in the image of man. So you got to get out there and live your life. Buy a house when you can. Save your money, investment. And I would highly recommend the best investment is property. It's property. You own a little piece of land or a house, there's so many things you can do with it. You can refinance and buy another one. You can make it bigger and rent it out. There's so many things you can do with it. And I know that we have a screwed up government now, and they're trying to make land buying difficult, but this will pass, and you own a piece of land. It will pass. And so, but until you can do that, get out, men, and start growing up. And then don't ever, but never, 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 ever, 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 but never see yourself as a victim. I don't care what color you are. You are not a victim. No one is superior to you. No one is less than you. Everybody have their own stuff they're trying to overcome. Well, most people are not trying to overcome it, but you should. So you're not a victim. That's a lie. It's a straight out lie. It's just like the idea of racism and all the isms, all lies. It's all lies. And the people from the old school know that. They went into the isms. And I believe that black woman that was on Tucker last night, a black doctor, female doctor, older woman, she said that we got to get away from the ism. There was no isms when we were growing up. You have a choice, men. And one last thing. Since the manhood out, I'll throw that in there. Any man that is emotional, you're a woman. It's abnormal for men to be angry and emotional. Anger is emotion. Feeling good, feeling bad, all anger. You are a female. The anger of a man is that of a woman. It came from your mama or your grandmama, and it's not normal for men to be that way. How are you going to lead if you're an emotional person? It's not going to work. So here's what I recommend. Go and forgive your mamas and grandmamas. Get away from them. Don't move down the road from them. Move away. I moved from Alabama to Indiana, from Indiana to California, way away at 18. Because I was taught that growing up, and it was perfect love. And I've not looked back. It has not been easy, because at one time I was like totally blind, but things worked out anyway. Even when I knew I was wrong about things, but did not know how to overcome it, things were still working out. They will work out, guys. But you cannot be a victim. Don't see it that way. Don't think of it that way. You're not that. And no one is better or less than you, so never compare yourself to anyone. Money-wise, any kind of way. Just be you. Be you. Be a living being, and you'll be fine. You'll make it. You'll be fine. And don't think of it as making it or not making it. Just be and let life happen. It's time out for men being victims. It's time out for men taking women advice. You're never going to get it right listening to a woman. I don't care how many degrees, if she's a talk show host, TV host, no matter what kind of little fake title she has, counselor, whatever they call themselves, you will suffer every time you listen to her. Ain't no way around it. Ask Adam about it. He'll tell you. It will not work. It's not supposed to work. It can't work. And I don't care what the woman tell you, she was made to follow. She was not created to lead. It doesn't work. And I don't care how many women they try to use in the Bible, act like they make up fake stories about the women in the Bible. Well, it'll be like Esther, whatever her name. Like, what the? It's all made up. It's all lies. All right? And ladies, accept your role in life and be proud, or not proud, but be happy, at peace, at being a lady and not in competition with the man. You can never compete with a man. They have to lower the standards. And that's not competing. Men, it's time to grow up. You got to take control of your own life. And it's going to be amazing when you do it. Become an individual. You already know the truth. I counseled with a guy that lived in another state yesterday, a young guy. And about a month ago, I guess, give or take, I had counseled with him. He was angry, out of it. Told him to go and forgive. He did. He started doing the silent prayer. And yesterday, you could see the light on in him. Everything changed. He can now see. He couldn't believe it. He was like, what the? It's in you. You already know the truth. You don't need some dummy telling you about the truth. It's already inside of you. Look within. And don't let your mama or anybody hold you back. You don't owe your mama anything. You don't owe her one dime. Your mama did not bring you in this world. God brought you in this world. But her ego want to take credit so she can control you. It's just making you feel guilty and making you feel obligated. And then now you're obligated to her out of guilt, not out of love. And she doesn't care that you feel guilty. All she can get what she wants. It's time to grow up, guys. Okay, life is tough. And it's only tough because you can't see how to deal with it. Life is not tough when you see what's going on. It's not tough when you see what's going on. All right, that's to all men. And one last word to the blacks. What's wrong with the blacks? One last word to the blacks. Y'all need to get over the anger so you can get over the blackness and feeling like victims and blaming on slavery. Slavery has nothing to do with your lack of life. It has everything to do with the hatred of your mothers and the yearning for the fathers. Everything to do with that. Nothing to do with anything exteriorly. Everything is within. And the blackness is being used for destruction. And you don't have to be a part of it. And they just do it out front, and you don't have sense enough to see it. Because you're angry. Drop the anger. The blacks are angry. And not at racism, which doesn't exist, or white supremacy, which doesn't exist. It's that nature, abnormal nature that you were recreated in the image of your mama. And now you feel like mama feel. That's not your feeling. It's not your fears. It's mama fears. Her fear, her anger, her doubt. You become like what you hate. And so you got to get off the plantation of the Democratic Party by getting off the plantation of anger in your imagination.